Well, hello everyone. Welcome. I'm Katie and this is a fountain pen awakening. And today I'm back with my top 3 pen and ink combos for the month of May. Now, I just want to mention to you all, feel free if you have a YouTube channel to play along and do your own top 3 pen and ink combos. And if you do, tag me because this is not exclusively to me. And I won't be offended if you kind of want to do it too. I am of the persuasion that more tags that we do and more interesting things that we can all share in the fountain pen community, the better. Instead of just doing our currently inks or just doing new unboxing stuff, just day-to-day things, like what of our top paper that we have enjoyed using during that month, or what of our fill in the blank. I mean, I'm just sort of like thinking, let's kind of do more things in the fountain pen community that kind of reaches a lot more people. Maybe they might be inspired to do videos themselves, to share something that is not purely about having to purchase something and show that, I mean, that is great because it helps a lot of people, check out inks and check out pens, and that's all fantastic and everything, and I get it. But let's also make it available to people like us who are in the fountain pen community and we have this hobby and we have all this stuff that we do, not only relating to unboxing stuff or buying new stuff, how we play with our pens, what we enjoy doing, what are the writing experience, what are the nibs that we like. So anyway, I'm just throwing it out there just so we can do diverse tags that people might be comfortable playing along with. So anyway, having said that, I hope you're all super well wherever you are in the world. I'm sitting outside on my veranda. It's a beautiful sunny day in Queensland, and we've just been having such hideous weather of late. It's just been rainy and kind of like overcast and grey, and winter comes to us as well, even though we're kind of in tropical area. But meh when the sun's not shining, right? Anyway, grab yourself a cup of tea. I'm drinking a black tea, organic black tea today, and let's get started. Oakley dokley. So I have these 3 pens that I have been enjoying writing with. This is my latest addition to my pen collection. This is my Esterbrook Estie in Blue Nouveau. This was something that I had been wanting to try out for the longest time. I was able to get this baby at a discounted price. Not my favorite color, in the sense it wasn't the color of my choice. I wanted the tawny, but I thought beggars can't be choosers, right? And having watched Karina's video from Karina Loves to Plan, where she was showing all her collection, I sort of checked out this color, and it's actually not bad. It's actually quite interesting because it's got like a variety of blues there, and there's browns and taupes and beiges, so you can sort of like pair it, if you're like me, with a variety of inks to be matchy-matchy. So I don't know if you guys had watched also my unboxing video when I got this. I had a bit of a like meh start with it, like the nib was a bit this and a bit watery and blah blah blah, and I had a hard start and I wasn't really enthusiastic. But now that I've had a chance to actually write with it and play around with it, I've been actually really enjoying this pen. So my has got a fine nib on it, and that's a size 6 nib, and I have been enjoying writing with pens with a number 6 nib. And also I've realized on my fountain pen journey that I enjoy a thicker grip rather than a thinner grip. I just find it more comfortable, and as you can see, this sits really comfy in your hand. You don't really need to post it. Becomes super long and a bit back heavy. So in this one here, I have got my Azurites. So I'm really enjoying this pen and ink combo. I think it's super fun to write with. I love the shading in this ink. I love it's a lubricated ink. which I kind of enjoy. And I found that, again, Lamy Crystal ink series is one of my favorite inks to use because they are really, really lovely. They've got a lovely flow. They're not too dry, they're not too wet, and that lubrication within it allows it to write really well in all pens while keeping quite a crisp line and not being too, as I say, blobby, which means watery when you write with it and doesn't keep a nice line. So this is my Lamy Crystal ink, and it's called Azurite. I love the shading. There's also a little bit of a dark green sheen in it, which I really, really like. And this is in my new Hester Esty, which has a fine nib on it. And this is Blue Nouvelle. Oops, Nouvelles. Oh my goodness me. Sorry, I didn't spell it. I really like the feel of it and the look of it and the shading of it. And it's really super comfortable to write with, especially when you kind of like have a long writing session. You know, it's a really nice smooth writing experience. No problem whatsoever. When I first kind of inked it up, it was a bit wet, so I thought the line was thicker than usual, but it's actually fine now that I've played around with it. It's also got a little bit of bounce, which I like. I like the line variation, even if it's not a cursive by any stretch of the imagination. But yeah, love. It also sort of keeps up when you write fast. And as you can see, there's absolutely no problem with the flow. So I've really been enjoying this, even though it might have not been my favorite kind of color. I don't really own a lot of blue pens, so that's perfectly fine, right? So that's that one. Now another one that I have been enjoying writing with is this lovely Kaweco Sport. Now this is a Cult pen exclusive. I got this pen with a big bottle of ink, which I think, you know, might have been an Inkvent one, which is like super gold shimmer ink, as part of special, you know, that they had at Cult Pens. It was on sale too. I did change the nib on it. It did come with a broad nib, but I didn't like the broad nib. It was a little bit too juicy for me, so I ordered some medium nibs for it and 1.1 stub nibs for it, both in the gold plated and the silver. But this medium here, out of the few replacement nibs that I bought, seems to be writing the best, so that's what I've got on this little thing. And even though this pen is quite tiny, this nib writes so well, and I just feel it really comfortable. And because, I mean, it's made of, what is this material? I mean, you know, it kind of feels softer than plastic, I guess, but it is plastic, isn't it? It's some sort of oh my goodness me, what's the word I'm looking for? I will link that in the description box below when I think of it. But I don't know, it feels warm, like it feels soft, it feels nice in my hand. Some pens just feel a little bit too, especially if they've got a metal section, I find them to be a bit too hard. And some materials that they use can be a little bit, I don't know, every pen body is made different, I think, and each have a tactility, and some feel comfier than others. I just don't know how to explain it. It's just really hard. It's just, you have to feel it in your hand. And some pens, even if they're exactly the same brands, like for instance, I've got the aluminium Kaweco, that kind of feels really hard when I write with it, I guess because it's a metal and I just get tired. It feels too kind of tough. I don't know how to explain it, but when I write with this is just perfection. Anyway, in this one I have Kyono Oto ink, and it's Azuki Iro. and I haven't got a lot left in the pen itself because I've nearly written it out, and that's why before writing it fully out, I was just waiting to do this video because I really wanted to share this writing experience with you. Now, as many of you know, I'm a bit of a fan of the Kyo no Oto and Kyo Iro inks. Again, they have a really nice writing experience in my mind's eye. They flow really well. They're not too wet. They're not too dry. I just like the viscosity of them as well, and they shade really nicely. So Kyo no Oto, and this is number 6, Azuki Iro, and I just really love this color. I love the shading in it. It's kind of like a brown red, and it's based on the red bean paste that they use over in Japan a lot. Now this is in my special, well, it's not a special edition, it's a limited edition to Cult Pens, let's say. And Cult Pens is in the UK. They've got some really good deals and good prices on pens, and I love the way that when I shop with them, I can shop in Australian dollars and I don't lose money in the exchange, on the exchange rate, and they ship for free to us when we spend over, I think it's 250 Australian dollars. And sometimes I can find pens there at a good price, better than I can find in Australia. So in my Kaweco Sports, and this is gold, and it's kind of got, like, you know, sparkle warkles through it. A Cult Pen exclusive, that's what I wanted to say. And the Cult Pen is hiding under here. That's where it is. Cult Pen exclusive. Oops, am I showing this? Am I in frame? Yeah, and I got this little clip to go with because I think that's really cute. So Kaweco Sport Gold, this has got a medium nib on it, and love the way, I mean, it's drying out now, there's very little ink left in there, but it just writes really smoothly, and I am loving the way it kind of shades. I like the color in it because it's not, you know, brown, it's got that kind of tan, I guess it's a tan color. Sorry, I kind of had to turn the sound down because the neighbor just came out and was crashing and smashing, and their gate, it's so noisy when they go in and out. They're not very quiet. I really did enjoy the writing experience and the pen and ink pairing with my Kaweco this month, and it's getting super dry. I don't know if you can see that sheen in there. It's beautiful green sheen. All right, so the next one I want to show is my Benno Brown Orchid. I did have it inked up with Leatherwood Honey, and I did have this Lamy Dark Lilac inked up in one of my All Stars with a 1.1 nib. But I wanted to swap that out and put it in here because, as you can see, it's got this beautiful sort of purple and gold and orangey greeny, and this one has a dark green, not dark, it's actually a sort of a green sheen to it, which is very prominent. So I just wanted to pop those in together, and what I found was that I really kind of enjoyed that. It was a really great pairing. Now again, you know, my Benno Brown Orchid, I did buy it with a broad nib on it, but the broad nib was a bit too juicy for me, so I ordered some extra nibs, and I got a medium, and I absolutely love this medium in, you know, in this pen. Interestingly enough, I got the same, you know, medium nib for my Benno Brile as well, because that had the fine nib on it, which I was struggling to write with, and that fine that medium nib is just so different from this medium nib. I just don't get it. I bought it exactly the same. This is gold plated. oh well, you know, I don't know if it's real gold, but that's gold plated. The other one is silver, and this just writes so well. The other one is a bit juicier and wet. So this is the Lamy Dark Lilac, and I guess this is the 2024 edition, and this was on the market, I believe, a few years back, and they've redone it, but it's a little bit different from the original because this has got a lot more sheen to it, and I really enjoy it. So this is in my Brown Orchid, which has medium nib on it, and I don't know, it's got a really great shade to it. It's not too light and it's not too dark, and then when it dries I just really enjoy the sheen, and I think it matches pretty well this pen. I just sort of really like the way the writing experience. I just love the way it's like drying down. You can see all that lovely sheen in there. And as you can see, it's just really nice flow, keeps up, no problem with it drying out. I find that sometimes some inks dry up in this pen, especially my Leatherwood Honey, which I really like pairing with this pen. The Leatherwood Honey, I've discovered, is quite, from Van Diemen's, is quite a dry ink, and it tends to dry up in this pen. So I need an ink that has a little bit more wetness to it, and I find that this works really well. So if I lift this up, you see that sheen in there, but also the shading. And then I've got them on my little cards, my Warringal cards. You can see how that green sheen in there. That hasn't sheened a lot in there for some reason, I don't know why. There's only a little bit in there. But as you can see here on the page, it's kind of got a lot of green sheen. So there we are, my lovely friends. I hope you enjoyed my top 3 pen and ink combos for May. Feel free to do yours too. Be interesting to see what you've loved writing with the most and what your top combos are. Let me know in the comment section below what your favorite is. And until my next one, ciao, Vedli!